Well, hey you guys, so today's video is going to be a little bit different. I'm getting this question a lot on just how I generally go about setting up my plantings, how I kind of get the look that that you guys are seeing in a lot of the walking tour videos that I'm doing. So I thought I'd bring you on a little bit early. The plants are not quite in the ground yet, they're sitting in pots, so I thought this is a perfect time to kind of share with you just kind of my style, how I set the beds in, how I set the beds up and kind of create that future look that it's going to look like in about 6 months to a year. So that way when you guys are starting your new plantings, this might give you a little bit of insight on, you know, how to recreate that style for yourselves if it's the look that you like. So I'm going to flip this camera around and kind of just walk you through the steps and the layers and obviously the plant names. So yeah, so I hope this helps and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, so here we are, you guys. This is a new front landscaping. The trees went in yesterday and the plants are set up and ready for install. So we're gonna start over here in this left bed. Now this left island is pretty significantly large and it allowed us to kind of create a little bit of a walkway space to kind of give us a little bit of a division here. This is the garage area, and as you guys know, most of us all use the garage as entry points. So I thought, what a great way to utilize kind of breaking up this bed a little bit. So we're gonna do a stone path into this section. To the back of that stone path, I really kind of want to soften that wall and the hose area. So we're going to do dwarf elephant ears. Those are dwarf alocasias, and they're kind of staggered in that grouping as you can see, because I want them to connect pretty quickly together. And they're going to be a nice 3.5 foot rear backdrop. Now, on the outside of the walkway, I really want to keep it nice and controlled, because this isn't a big space. It's not a big, this is a 3 foot walkway. So I don't want in any way this to feel overtaken. So I'm going to use 4 foxtail ferns. They're going to cluster really nice and tight together at about 2 foot tall, which is great. Then I've got mammy crotons. These are the little fireball mammy crotons. And they're going to kind of do that same thing. You kind of see how I have them nice and tight together, because I want them to group almost like a connective, I would say a hedge, but I'm kind of scared to say a hedge because that's not what they're going to do. You can kind of see how we have nice divided breaks in that, so it won't feel hedge-like. And these two textures are so different. Once they're grown in, they play so good together. This glossy, really glossy, colorful leaf mixed with this very feathery, soft, vertical type of look. I love how that works. And I wanted something pretty controlled right around that false agave, because I want that false agave to look like it's popping up out of the middle of a very controlled lower planting. So it's definitely going to do that. Then we have a clustering of the foxtail ferns again. We have a trio of Sanchesia. Now I know this is not the look of Sanchesia that you normally see. This is kind of what they look like when they're newly planted. They're not super overwhelming, but they do become such a beautiful plant as they group together and widen out and just become a nice, beautiful cluster. Right on each side of the walkway, we're at that same point where we don't want those Sanchesia or anything too big to come over into this space. So these Blew My Minds are going to do a great job of that. And then it's kind of a rinse and repeat right by the front entrance, because this is a very similar look to the front door. I want each side to have a very symmetrical feeling. And so kind of keep that in mind when you're landscaping your own garden, to kind of make sure that you find a rhythm and just repeat that over and over. And then throw in a little bit of punch, like something like this, to kind of give it even more interest. So we have a foxtail fern grouping here. Again, we have a nice little swoop of these mammy crotons here, and you kind of see how that's working. So we're going to cluster these nice and tight together. We have a little bit of height to the back with the Sanchesia. That's really going to make this color pop. And then to especially make the color pop, I chose something as simple as a green arbicola. This is going to start this connection here, and you see how it curves down and angles this way. So it swoops this way when the other colorful plants swoop this way. And then you see there's a break, and then we do the blaze copperleaf and they swoop this way. Hope the camera is really showing that to you guys. It's kind of hard to do that on this gimbal, and then now we've repeated the rhythm again with the Sanchesia on the outside, and they're going to swoop this way. So it's a very yin and yang type of look, which I love that. Now you can tell the difference obviously now in the garden, but wait 6 months from now when everything grows in and the heights and the levels and the textures and the colors and everything comes together, it's really gonna look like a really layered landscape, and we're really not dealing with that many plants here to create that. So I did kind of create a little bit of a buffer planting here with the coleusias. They're going to create a nice 5-foot wall, so that way when my client's sitting on the porch here, obviously the neighbor's driveway, and she parks right there, so that's going to kind of give her a little bit of a nice barrier there. So I think that's going to be great. This is a King Alexander triple, and it's a stunner. It's perfect for this location in the garden, and then of course we flanked it with 2 beautiful foxtail palms. And then just to give that little area over there a bit of a punch, I love that double King Alexander. I really think that's going to come together so nicely. And I love the idea that as you're coming up this walkway here, and then the other walkway, the rock walkway, and those situations you're walking under a canopy of palm fronds. To me, I just think that's so magical. So you know, that's one way to just jazz up 2 front entrance beds, and it's not a lot of material, but it's a lot of impact. And then hopefully Brenda will invite me back in about 6 months, and I can do an updated tour on this, so that way you guys can see everything grown in and in the ground, and really see those different leaf textures really come to life in here, and what they do. So, well, I sure hope this video helps. If you guys have any questions, then please leave them in the comments down below, and I'll do my best to get back to you on that.